This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked! I am Ray Taylor. I clearly don't have a regular job.
I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said,
all right, to counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself, I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about? And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast. I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about like jerking off and UFC?
That new delay threw me off.
Did it?
A little bit. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna hold my breath for a second or two here. I don't remember what I was gonna do. Doesn't matter.
I don't
did
either.
the chest poundy thing.
Yeah.
Because we're fucking.
Which might be more Kong, but we're talking
Sure,
about the
yeah.
war.
Which we did actually. This is the second
Ape movie
that
of
we've
this
seen
year.
this year. The summer. Technically Kong spring,
Spring-ish.
early summer. Still counting it. It's very
Yeah.
much a summer.
It's a summer
popcorn
blockbuster, yeah.
movie. It's just not a huge
Was it in May?
franchise.
I think it was in May.
Yeah, it was like towards the end of spring, right before summer started. That's when they put out a few kind of like blockbustery movies. Guardians was super early.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the first technical summer movies of the year. But we're not talking about those. We're talking about the War for the Planet of the Apes, which for whatever reason this says of, but it is for. I promise you. It's weird. I was looking up a picture, as I do, and a lot of promotional material has of. There wasn't very many.
Maybe it started out as War of the Planet of the Apes.
Sure. Or it's like fan-made shit, and they just got it wrong. But that one, I like the look of this one the most. And it's one word, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So this is the third installment of the Planet of the Apes reboot.
The
Or
finish of the
prequels?
trilogy. No, this is reboot.
Right. I never saw the originals. Charlton Heston, right?
Yeah.
I
saw some. I mean, I know I've seen all of the original one,
Right.
and I know I've seen parts of the other ones, but I couldn't tell you shit about them. Besides, they were people in monkey masks. Very well done monkey masks for the time.
They still did in the Tim Burton one. They
That
wore
was-
monkey masks too.
Those monkey masks were really good, but that movie was terrible.
Yeah, because like masks don't work.
No, the
Yeah.
masks did work. The practical effects I thought in that movie worked very well.
I didn't like it at all.
But I thought the movie in general sucked. It wasn't
That
It
too.
wasn't the it
There
wasn't
was
the
a lot
monkey
of problems
suits
with that.
that bothered me.
Monkey suits, huge problem.
That
because it
didn't
looks
bother me.
stupid. I was like, what are we doing here? Like we're in. It looked like TV movie
If
shit.
they would have tried to do what they did with these,
They couldn't have done it.
No, they just
this
couldn't
way.
have done it.
But the way they did, I don't know. Maybe just the aesthetic with Tim Burton. There was a lot of shit I did not like about that Tim Burton reboot, which thankfully it died. He didn't do any more.
Well, it was
just a kinda,
supposed to be the
supposed
start.
to be, yeah, but then it did horribly. So we get Planet of the Apes, which is the first one came out probably like 4 years ago.
Was that
actually?
It was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Was the first one.
It was the first one. Then Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
So I do like how they introed this movie, where they
I love
blended those words.
We
with
should
the-
have watched the other two recently, and just didn't.
but didn't need to necessarily with that intro, and then with the movie stands on its own.
It does
really.
Not rewatching it, I was never really lost in it.
No, not at all. Let's see, director. So Dawn 2014, so 3 years ago. Every year, 14, 15, no. So
he didn't do the first. What?
He didn't do the second one.
He didn't do the second one,
I guess, yeah.
which was
But he may have wrote it.
I don't know.
Which one was that one? Rise of the Planet of the
Rise.
Apes. He's probably a producer, right?
You would think.
Nope.
Just not involved in it?
Nope. Let's see, writer.
Maybe
This
not.
is not really a writer. But this one.
He wrote this one.
Yeah. So I don't know who did. Let's see. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Rise
Boom.
for the Planet of the Apes.
2011.
So
So
this is
Rise was the first one, then
Yeah,
Dawn,
so then he did the
then
last
War.
two.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who did this one?
Rupert Wyatt. did the first one. 2011.
Going deep before we even get into this fucking shit.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
Let's
Looks like that's kind of. It was his first one, The Gambler. Crazy.
Well, no, he did the last two. He did.
No, not this guy.
Not this guy. He only did the.
He
first
only
one.
did the first one. Yeah, which is crazy because he like.
That first
nothing.
one was awesome.
I know.
And then
It's
nothing
crazy.
since then. He's like got a TV gig.
Maybe he's
and-
like who's the Star Wars dude that just did the first one, gets all the credit.
Abrams.
No, the first one.
Oh, Lucas.
Very first one. But then
How do you not know that?
I just block his name out, just because everybody else has it right on the tip of their tongue. It's like, he doesn't get that much respect from me. But it's great that fucking Reeves came in. Is it Reeves?
Yeah, Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves came in and did the last two. I mean, the first one it's kind of a weird franchise trilogy because there's so many like huge blockbuster
He
franchises.
was childhood friends with J.J. Abrams.
Good kid to know if you're going to be a director.
But I mean,
Writer and shit.
imagine if like you and your like fucking high school buddy
Yeah.
both went on to be prolific
I
directors.
think it'd be crazy if you came from a poor neighborhood, but maybe they're both like from families of like showbiz, and that's why they grew up next to each other and became, because a lot of showbiz
Probably.
people. That's not crazy. I'm
No.
sure there's a lot of people like from LA that are just like, yeah, we've been best friends forever.
Yeah.
But like, if there was another huge comic that was friends with Joey and they grew up in that same neighborhood, that's crazy.
Well, Cameron Diaz and Snoop Dogg went to the same high school at the same time and like knew each other.
Yeah.
Like even though he went on to just be a gangbanger and then musician.
Knew each other. Who knows how much they knew each other?
I guess
though.
knew of.
Yeah. It's like,
From I think I heard a
If-
story once.
if
they
I
had
went to school with
they had
anybody-
personal interaction.
yeah, but if I went to school with anybody that became famous, like
I knew everyone
I
in my
would
school.
recall all of the moments that I met him and like, oh, I remember. I was like, oh, I knew him.
Yeah.
Sure. Did I know him? Probably not. They weren't my friend. It's cool to see him. Like, oh, hey, high school, bro.
Yeah. Hey, we're both famous.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the third installment in kind of the under the radar fucking trilogy franchise, because everything's fucking comic book, huge comic book. Star Wars is back now that Disney owns them. Fucking, and what other fucking the Star Trek? J.J.
Star
Abrams
Trek?
is kind of
He's rebooting everything.
The fucking Jurassic Park.
Coming out with another one.
But this is like kind of been, they've always done well, but it's like you don't hear people fucking talk about them. Like you hear like the amount of people that talked about shitty movies that we saw last year
Yeah.
in a positive way. I've never heard anybody gush over like
This
this
is
franchise.
an amazing
Now,
trilogy.
I think now like the movie nerds and
Yeah.
stuff like that understand how big this franchise is, like how well it's been done, and like from story to like just how they're filmed with a lot of respect. They're not just cookie cutter like, you know, like comic book movies. Or
Yeah.
a lot of the times there's not a whole lot of artistic shots in a lot of like summer actiony movies in general. But this is like filmed like a
Or you
like
get a Batman
Braveheart
Superman
almost.
that's all artistic shots and no content.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All
There-
all
It's just like you
yeah.
get one or the
exactly.
other.
That's one of the movies that
Yeah.
like there was a lot
all
of
artistic shots, no content,
shit,
no
slow-mo,
substance.
like yeah, exactly. Screensavers. But now that this is coming out, and after seeing it, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna spoil some shit, but after seeing it, like, all I want to do is just go back and watch them all, just to fit them all together.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, it's just so well done, man.
You know what? Before we even get into it,
Yeah.
one thing: the CG, even during all the fights and everything, nothing took me out of it.
The
Nothing
only time
looked-
that I kind of was wavered was when it first, like all these great movies we're watching, for whatever reason, it's probably because I'm just so cynical and
Right in the very
hateful. It's
beginning, you're like, son of a
somebody's gonna
bitch.
fuck this. But they were like, when they're on horses, it looks weird. But like, there was some scenes when it was like first person almost, walking in through all the apes and stuff in the caves. That was like, oh, because they started just looking very much like the same copied apes, you know, not really personalities. But then the as the movie
the
goes,
core group
it's like,
comes in, yeah.
Oh, okay, and the CG. I just think maybe that opening scene, maybe they had to cut some corners.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even that bad. But it was just like, clearly I'm watching CG right now. But then as the movie goes, I mean, there's some fucking
the whole
just
time I
gorgeous
feel
shots.
like I'm watching CG.
Oh, there's
but
so
it's
many of them.
great.
I'm not at all. All of the close-ups in this movie looked like the fucking
It's
the
great.
realest shit.
No, I get you.
Like,
it's great,
it's
but I
so
still,
crazy.
but knowing it's CG.
I mean, I
it's
knew
like-
it was CG, but I kept having to remind myself this is fucking CG because it looked like fucking like anytime it was full body, I'm watching CG. I mean, it still looks great. They move well, all that shit. I know I'm looking at CG. All the faces, because they're all done with like super shallow depth of field. They're all like displayed in a way to like you can hide because there's only a small part that is in detail in focus in that thing. So it's like,
I mean, just
all of the eyes.
Just
I mean,
the fact of how well they've got with animal hair.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because that's a big one. CG.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you could do an animal. It might look something like that animal a little bit, but the hair never moves.
Still,
right.
movies today, it's tough.
It is.
I mean, like Life of Pi was great, but like I was looking at a bunch of CG shit in a boat. Like this,
I still never watched that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. CG. I mean, but it's like it was kind of stylized too. But you know, it depends on movies. Some movies they kind of get away with it because they'll have a certain style of CG.
Yeah.
To where it's like, okay, like a fucking Michael Bay. It's like, well, there's so much shit on the screen. Good luck telling me what's fake. But then this, just the way it's shot, it's and like
Everything
the whole
blended
movie,
seamless.
it has to be amazing CG because there's like barely any dialogue, super dramatic acting scenes, all done with fucking fake faces. It's the most amazing animation. The most amazing
score
animation
for this movie was fantastic.
That's fucking great too.
Was fucking everything. The mood,
very like like percussion on like
it was very fucking. It all like, fit the mood. It set the tone
jungly kind
of how like you should feel but without being overpowering.
There were moments because there's so much back and forth in this movie, like where it's like dramatic scene, like lighthearted, and the music was going with it. And there were times where I was like, okay, it's like very much matching the emotions I'm seeing, but it's like it was almost a little bit too much because the fucking just the animation of the facial scenes, like there's so much emotion, like so much. There's like so many dramatic scenes where you're looking at Caesar. And there's so many emotions going on.
So much angst in his face.
Like
so
everything.
Like
you see like this subtle joy or just subtle like anger.
Tearing up.
Oh my god.
It was so great.
Like fucking computer animators in this movie is like they're shining fucking, and it's just
Congrats
it's
to
crazy
you.
that it's just going to get better.
Yeah.
They still haven't been able to do people yet. Like the Star Wars is better. I mean, but it's clearly we're watching a dead CG guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, your face. That's
it's just like, but whoever does this, let me see who. I wonder if it says
probably don't say the company or anything.
You'd be credited. I just don't know where to look for it on IMDb, especially if I can't. If I'm stuck.
Just click on War.
Yeah. But yeah, the movie's great. Go watch it. If you haven't seen the first ones, you don't need to, but fucking do a goddamn marathon and then go watch this. Just came out yesterday. Let's see here.
220-minute run or 2 hour and 20-minute runtime. Didn't seem like it.
No. I mean, it was like I knew I was watching a longer movie. I was expecting to. But it's like it's very much has like a Braveheart kind of feel. You're watching an epic right now. Part of a trilogy too.
So emotionally involved in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And with what is there maybe 15 minutes of actual dialogue in the movie? Spoken dialogue.
A lot of sign language, which also helps in the plot of the movie. Like it's like a superpower. You can communicate for far distances.
Silently.
It's like the difference between
silently. It's just
it's like the difference between a sword and a gun. It's like a sword. I got to be 4 feet away from you.
Meet you away.
Yeah. Gun. I'm fucked.
There's a new record sniper shot that was 2 miles.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah. What was I doing? Oh yeah. I don't even know if I can find it. Let's see here. What were we just saying?
I don't know.
Emotionally invested in this movie.
Yeah, it was just like everything. It's so dramatic.
Yeah.
Without humans being in 95% of it. Like you were saying, just the faces.
Oh yeah,
like
no
everything.
dialogue. It's like the whole thing is done through
Stories,
fake faces
told by fake faces,
fake monkey faces.
Yeah,
and it's like there's a character comedy relief that shows up.
Yes,
in this
ape.
movie, and like the perfect voice to face to like how it's like he was like the look of that monkey fit the attitude of that monkey.
Yes,
or ape, whatever the fuck. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find a special effects department, or that wouldn't even be special effects. Would it?
It'd be
what is
CG. It'd be
sound department,
special effects, visual effects. It'd probably be creative. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. Great. Whoever does it, I'm sure
good
people
on you.
know.
Yeah.
If you know, you're
if
yelling
you're in the
at me.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know still. Probably just do a simple Google search, which I'm not going to do. Who is the art department? But whoever the fuck it is, man, like this, the level, what like it compared to was the first time I saw Toy Story, like in high school. And it was the first full feature length
3D
animated. And it was, at the time, it was like, holy shit, because you got like reflections. It's like all this kind of crazy shit. And for the time, it was crazy shit. And now it's like, that shit's on fucking YouTube. Like fucking dudes are doing that in their basement, animating Toy Story 1 quality shit. But then you got this like photorealistic, like if you just freeze framed any of those, it would look like they just took a picture. Like maybe you see in movement or like some things, maybe it looks a little fake. But every time it was the close-ups, man. All the fucking, because man, they just they just like came all over the audience.
That's 3 movies in a row. That
we've been on a good run, man.
That we came out of. We've also went
Last summer,
3 weeks in a row.
Because they've been good releases.
Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I've
War for
heard
the Planet
nothing
of the
but
Apes.
good things. So it's like, how am I not going to go see these? Whereas last year, heard nothing good.
Everything
and like
was terrible.
Tried to watch some shit. Like, and some paid off, some didn't. I mean, there was a couple independent
movies last year.
That's
but
the thing.
Nothing blockbuster.
Exactly. Yeah. Which this year we went and tried. We went and saw one that didn't really work out.
Yeah.
But it's a hit or miss with that. But I haven't been paying attention. I just haven't had any time for independence. Like if something shows up on Netflix or Amazon, throw it on. But yeah. But yeah, it's been a good run. The War of the Planet of the Apes for the Planet of the Apes was I mean, like, it's not a fun movie. It's like there's all the emotions in this movie.
It's a serious
action,
fucking drama.
It's a tons of drama, hilarious comedic moments that fit.
But there was like 5. And they were in just the right places.
Yes,
like literally 5.
And it doesn't.
And boom.
And it takes a while.
Boom.
It takes a while before you even get to the first one.
There's like first 45 minutes.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, it starts.
You don't
So let's get into it. It starts with like a little synopsis. So if you haven't seen the first 2,
kind of gives you an overview,
catches you up a little bit. If you have seen it, haven't seen them in a while, whatever, you're good to go going into it. But then it's like it's a battle scene. They're going through. They got the kill monkeys, and they're going through the jungle, and you're following the people. Yeah. And you're like, oh shit.
Looks like almost a Vietnamist scene,
which a shitty movie would have had. Like in the jungle, which there was only
or
one
CCR.
Song. Yeah, exactly. I think I didn't know what I was singing, but I think I was getting to a CCR song.
No, you were singing "Welcome to the Jungle" pretty much.
Well, that's not the melody though. That was in my head when I was singing. It was
Born on the Bayou, maybe?
Yeah. Born on the Bayou. But yeah, so it's like it starts off with that, and then right away gets into battle scene.
Yeah, they're like, hey, look, there's some monkeys or apes.
Yeah.
Let's kill them. And then they're like, hey, Colonel.
Which all of their hats had, slogans to the effect of what they were going to do if they
And this also introduces the fact that they are also working with some apes of their own.
Yeah. Some have gone to the other side.
Which they refer to as donkeys, and spray paint that on them.
And then they'll brand them with their little...
But they all have that, like tattooed on them.
Well, yeah, but all the donkeys had it branded on them.
Yeah.
So battle scene where it's like they're just decimating the apes.
Yeah.
And then the tone of this, how the pace of the movie is very much like this side gets a victory, small victory, and it's like, oh shit, here's this other side now. It's, oh, they got the victory now. You're fucked now. It's like there was so much of that throughout the whole movie, even like up to the end of the movie. It was like, oh shit, they did it, and then it's like, oh
shit,
no, they didn't do it, and it's like, oh shit, they did do it, and it's
oh
like,
no,
oh,
they didn't do it again.
Do it. Yeah, it's so much like which I love that because it was like it kept you emotionally fucked the whole movie because you're like, drama shit's going on. It's all like shown to you. It's just because there's no like bullshit exposition. There's no very little dialogue, very little communication. But it's like so many things happen. There's so much emotion. It's like nothing was missed.
No.
Despite like it wasn't like we were watching some fucking like student art film where it's like there's no dialogue and random scenes and shit. Like if you just put mute on Batman vs Superman. Yeah, and then there would be a Kia commercial. Was Subaru commercial? There was a commercial at the beginning of that movie too.
I think it was Kia.
But yeah, it's just it's like quality wise, like by far the best movie I've seen this year. Like just from like has all the emotions, like everything shot, story good, everything good. Not my most fun movie of the year. So I don't know how it would rank because Dunkirk's not going to be like, hey, I'm not buying the soundtrack to Dunkirk.
With Dunkirk.
Yeah, but it's like it's getting into like that heavier thing. So it's like well-rounded as a whole. It's like probably fucking right up there.
What's
like? It's hard for me to think of anything that I had a problem with.
Yeah. No,
which is good.
There's no. I didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
But then, like, you find out that they capture a few of the humans because they come back after they get, like, they start to battle them.
At the end of that battle, there's a couple humans
they get some
left.
And one of the donkeys, and then then they let the humans go. They say, go tell your colonel.
They tie him up.
Yeah,
put them on horses, kick the horses' butts, and they went off.
Leave us alone.
Yeah. It's like I'm trying to show sympathy. So it's like group of monkeys, and they're being attacked by these soldiers. It's all we really know.
Yeah.
Don't know definitely what's going on. And then, so they go back to their fort hideout thing or whatever. And then that's where I was like, they're all doing the thank you thing.
No, it's all that's how they show dominance. Like that's
but it was one of them did it and is like thank you. They subtitled the gesture like way later in the movie. But it's like that's when it was like, oh no, the CG might not be good, and then I was like completely wrong after that point. But yeah, there was like that just led into another scene where it's like, oh, dramatic. He's seeing, his
it's like they killed 60 some apes.
Yeah.
And then so they let him go. It's like, I'm not a savage. I didn't start this war. Just leave us alone. And so they go. But then the traitor ape, the donkey, the gorilla that they had take him away was like, he hit me in the head and escaped.
Yeah.
And so then like the next day, all of a sudden the soldiers show back up and fucking kill Caesar's wife and kid.
Well, he sees, and it was like the way. Well, first it was like he gets to see his son that he hadn't seen in a long time.
His older son that was in the previous movie.
Yeah, and then he has a younger
an
kid.
Infant.
Yeah, and and his wife, and then the son meets his old flame, Lake, and so it's like very heartwarming after this like emotional battle scene that went place, and then it's like he's waking up, which there's kind of dream moments throughout the movie, and he's like sees something through the waterfall, and he's like, wait a minute, it's a rope, and then he's like, oh fuck, this is where it's like, oh shit's going down.
Exactly.
Which I enjoyed that scene. That's where Caesar and Woody Cheers
Harrelson,
talk about a
his
guy
name
from that.
is
I know,
but you
which
just
helps
had
me.
Yeah,
Helps
well,
me.
Woody from Cheers.
I could think of his Cheers name, which sometimes actors' names in movies is easier to. But it's a win-win for his
the Colonel.
He's one of the few names that I can recall easier than all of the other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where they first meet. Super dramatic.
He looked badass
scene.
with his face all fucking painted.
Yeah,
and
very Michael Bay-ish kind of a scene. Actually,
pans over, he looks down at the bodies, and then Caesar looks down, sees his dead wife and son, and then that's when shit fucking hits the fan.
So now he's on a mission to avenge these deaths. His buddies want to tag along, so the ragtag group forms.
I knew that I felt like that.
Which is, I mean, it would have been a boring movie if it
start,
was
it's
just
like the
Caesar.
start to every leader's revenge story where the leader goes, I'm going to go off on my own.
Yeah.
And then his loyalist friends...
Anywhere from like Lord of the Rings amount to just one guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy that's like, I'm with you. I'm your ride or die homie.
Because you need to have, for a story, you need to have two people. I mean, you could, unless you're doing Castaway, which is like, okay. I mean, you could do that.
Which was brilliant that they managed to do it with one person.
But they didn't. He had a fucking volleyball. He eventually got another person, kind of. He had something to interact with. That was, at the end, was an emotional scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure people got emotional when he lost Wilson at the end of that. Spoilers. But Wilson was dead the whole time, people. Spoilers again. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah. But but I didn't whatever. It's like it's a common storytelling movie thing where it's like, okay, but
I know it didn't bother me.
Some movies do it better than others.
It didn't bother me at all.
Some movies are just
but
like,
I'm just pointing out that is the trope of almost
Sure.
every revenge story where the leader of a group
I mean,
goes
almost
on a revenge.
any story. I mean, Lord of the Rings is very much. I mean, it's a different purpose.
Yeah.
They're trying to melt a ring, but it's a group of people that are on it's a road trip story with a bunch of people. But yeah, and you give a fuck about all of them. They all, like, wherever they go throughout this movie, you're like, know them, maybe not their name, but you fucking, like, you want them to, you don't want to see them go, Some of them do. Which this movie's like, it's just, it's like not too much where they're like killing people off just to kill people off, but then it's like,
all the deaths were very
there's a lot of
meaningful.
deaths. Yeah. Well, up until like even at
the very beginning deaths were meaningful in the scene where they were releasing them into the river.
It was just like, oh, this is why. Oh, yeah.
And like that was like, oh shit, man. They're just like fucking, hey, our dead monkey fucking friends, apes. Sorry, I'm gonna say, fuck it, monkeys.
Yeah, whatever.
They're goddamn monkeys.
Sure.
They're throwing monkeys in the river, and it's sad as fuck.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, someone's like, "Oh shit, someone's coming!" And then it was his son. And then they're like, "Hey, we found a place.
Yeah,
we got a place, and it's awesome. We can get the fuck out of here, and the humans won't find us."
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to figure out where this place is, because they're like,
I think it might be where they end up.
No, I'm saying like
in relation to where
they are, because they're on the California border. They cross a desert and get to somewhere that's. They go over a mountain. I wasn't even
thinking of like geographically.
They go over a mountain, cross a desert, and then get to that fucking canyonous, like hilly area.
I mean, you wouldn't have to go far.
But I'm saying, is that like Utah? Is that like?
No, you wouldn't even have to go that far. Like you could go in California. You can go from beach, climb a mountain. Like the desert I grew up in is 2 hours away from the beach.
Yeah.
So
but that's on the other side of the mountain, right?
Yeah, you got to go. There's a mountain range between it.
Okay.
Not huge, not like Colorado Rockies, but like fucking the Saharas or
Sierra Nevada,
San Jacinto. I forget what the name of that mountain range is. But yeah, there's mountains there. But and then if you go like if if they went up into the mountains of like Big Bear, that would look very similar to like where like Colorado, which is kind of like similar to what it looked like.
Yeah.
You get snow there too, like so it could have been they went up into Big Bear. Although,
yeah, but
the snowstorm and then no snow.
But they weren't in a mountain. They had to go over a mountain, through a desert.
But you still be
and
going,
and then got to like a
we still be going
place.
through. I mean, just leaving the beach.
Oh, we jumped right to the
It
end.
could easily be. Yeah, but that's whatever. Guess who lives? That's the thing.
Yeah, true.
And it's but like they all die on the battlefield.
Spoilers, Planet of the Nothing.
They don't like it. Just kind of ends. It's like they all die, and then like I think somebody pissed on one of them, and they just cut.
And then you see a cat walk by, and that's
but
it.
California, they wouldn't have to go far. Like they'd still be in California.
But something
they wouldn't even get close to out of California.
But it was on the border of something. They said go to the border.
It looked a lot like Northern California.
I kind of
which would have been, I mean, like Oregon looks a lot like that, and Washington there's a lot of like lush. I mean, the forest and shit, and that's kind of what it looked like in the previous. I don't know if it was the last one.
Into the
very
forest.
much like
it's very like northern.
So and then Northern California, like you don't have to go far south, and
I'm
starts
sure if we'd
getting deserty.
rewatched the first ones, it'd be like, oh, they show where it's set at. Like, so
but
we could probably figure it out. But
yeah, I mean that could easily
who knows
be
how far they traveled.
That could easily be like Oregon.
Yeah,
you know. Although I don't know of any deserts in Oregon, so it'd have to, I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't even thinking of that geographically.
I was trying to figure it out the whole time. I'm like, where the fuck are they? If they're all right, they're bordering California.
Because none of that looked like Southern California.
Doesn't look
really
like anything I've seen in Nevada.
The beaches did. I mean, the beaches look more Northern California than Southern California.
Yes,
but But so I'd imagine it would be that.
More snowy. I would say northern.
Fucking Big Bear is 2 hours from the beach, and that's like, it's like it's always got snow on it. Well, during the wintertime.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we were at.
But yeah, so he's on his revenge mission.
Yeah, he's going on.
Forms the ragtag group. They're on their way, and they run into like.
Well, the group isn't. It's not just it's like all your.
What's the top guys?
It's your favorite. It's your favorite apes, favorite monkeys.
I guess looking back, probably not a good idea considering when they were leaving. They're like, "You're our leader. You tell us what to do."
It was like
and then he's
top,
like,
"It was literally the top
all
four.
the management left.
All the management left.
So wasn't that surprising
that they all got
when you
caught?
see what happened later? But it's
you left
bad decision
you
making.
left him totally unsupervised.
Like, they're like, fuck everybody. They just walk. They got
you guys got it right.
Well, wasn't it? No, he died. I was like, well, wasn't his son doing it? But no,
there was
he was gone.
There was
yeah,
no
was the
one
whole
really
reason.
leading that group.
Well, the lake.
Because she had his son.
She was
like
the next in line.
And it's like, because it was his son's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's sure. I mean, she was the only other main character, really.
I did kind of weirdly, maybe it's just because he learned from humans, but like, do monkeys have a marriage ceremony? Because he kept calling his wife, I guess. But
who
like,
knows, man? I mean, I don't know. It's just like a word to describe whatever their situation is. So it's
and I was like reasoning with
like,
that.
They went down to
These
the
are all micro thoughts.
This
isn't something that plagued me through it.
Yeah,
He said wife, and I go,
I didn't even
wait.
I didn't even think about it.
I was like,
yeah, it was his wife.
It was.
Actually, I was kind of happy
it.
he said that because I wasn't completely sure. It's like I knew it was his son because I saw the scars.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if it was Lake or the mom.
Until he gave his
they
other
both had,
son
like little hair things.
to his. A lot of them had like so small, subtle scars that I loved. That
they all
looked
different.
So great.
Like there was clearly different
even the
apes.
orangutan had like a small scar right here on the like the corner of his flap
ear.
Well, it's like his face
it's a different
flap.
guy. Yeah, that guy. But there was another guy where it's just like he got Tysoned.
Yeah,
he had a chunk of his ear missing. Yeah, they all
that
had
was
scars.
Rocky.
Yeah, and even the flashbacks to Kubo and the Two Strings was he was all
Koba.
He reminds me of the. I mean, it's totally gonna sound.
Seeing all the flashbacks of him though reminded me of the second movie.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I was like,
I
oh,
remember
yeah.
It's like I remember in the second one. I remember when they stumbled upon like a bunch of like soldiers with guns, and they were just like, ooh, they like fucking killing them and shit, just like fucking around, like, oh, look at the monk. Before they knew monkeys were smart.
Like, oh, I
like
got a
this
gun.
movie, they all knew monkeys were a threat. In the second movie, there's still people that were like, oh, it's just a monkey, and it's like, oh fuck, he got shot by the fucking monkey. But yeah, that was it's weird. Like that movie, I just saw like, I just see him on like a whim. It's just like, oh, I guess I'll go see that. And they've all been great. So it's like this one was the only one I was like, I gotta see it when it comes out. I look forward to it. But yeah, so they got
what James Franco started. Jesus.
Sure. Yeah.
He was Caesar's
It's the very first
BFF.
one. He was the doctor, right?
Yeah, he was
the scientist.
He was the scientist, and
Yeah.
Caesar was his favorite chimp. And then all this shit went down. Caesar got smart.
Wasn't he revenging his death in that one, the first one, or
No.
did they kidnap him and he was? I can't remember.
No,
I just remember it was good.
they pretty much fired him, and then was like,
I thought he dies.
"See, this is why we should have watched these other movies." But we didn't need
I wasn't
to.
thinking of James Franco. I'm assuming he's dead now.
No, he's still alive.
In the universe?
No, James Franco.
Oh, well, I don't know. I haven't looked at Twitter.
James, are you out there?
Yeah.
Get a hold of us if you are.
Sure. Yeah. It's I think this, like, quality-wise, like, I remember the first one being really good.
This
and
is
like
my
amazing.
favorite. This is my favorite.
I think
though.
it's like the most well done too. Yeah.
Well, you get
like
how technology works.
But I mean, just the way they used it.
2011.
Like, there's a lot of
6 years later.
Yeah. you don't get the like super.
It gets better.
Yeah, but like they did it well. It's not like all movies are like this amazing. Like this is the only one that's this amazing. This is the Matrix of fucking CG faces. Every other movie that's ever done a CG face can suck my dick. Even when they just try and make people look younger, which has gotten better, none of it was A, done as good, and B, handled as good. Because this one was like it's super
I feel like
close
the
up.
best younger face, Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War.
I thought in Guardians 2, what's his face?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I thought that was done well.
That wasn't younger face.
It was. I think it was like a blending of a few different things.
Like,
they had
not
like an
in the
actor
way
that looked
that-
like him,
yeah.
and then like they did, but it was still CG
Like,
face.
because I still didn't like the Carrie Fisher younger face
Um,
in Rogue One.
They all suck. None of them do it like at this, like that close up. None of them are going deep into the fucking face where you see every pore.
I was looking so much like at the nose.
And it's like super shallow depth of field to where it's like they handled it well. It's like, oh, like most people just do like Star Wars and all that shit, but they're still filmed in a very kind of everything's in focus kind of way.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get shallow depth of field in a fucking Star Wars movie.
This
Like they're
felt
not
like-
going to allow that.
put the camera right here on my face, and that's
Yeah.
what most of the
Yeah.
shots
Yeah.
were.
Even though the camera's far away to get that kind of look.
Just
but yeah,
bam!
It's focused. It's got like an inch worth shit's in focus.
Yeah.
And like everything's playing around in that area throughout this whole movie. But yeah, so it's all the other movies that try and do this fucked them all in the ass. They put them over, just ape fucked them.
So Revenge Journey.
Yeah. So they end up. I mean, they first they run into humans.
No, they say, hey. The one gorilla is like, hey, our guards think that this is where the humans are at because there's
Sure.
a fire always burning.
Yeah.
So they go up and check it out.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what's up? See a dude carrying firewood?
Yeah.
And he's all like, I'm just going to put this down. Tries to shoot him.
Yeah.
Fucking gets killed. Then they find a little girl. And this little girl can't talk.
Yeah. Which I just thought she was mute,
So did I.
which fine.
Yeah.
There, it fits with the story. The fact that there's sign language going on. A lot of the apes can't talk anyway. And then there was an ape that could talk but couldn't do sign language,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting. But yeah, so they run into this girl, and the fucking
Orangutan.
forms a bond with her, can't leave her behind, gotta take her. So she's part of the ragtag group, which is fine, Another element to the thing.
It shows compassion in the apes.
Absolutely.
And it
which
kind
they
and
were,
it kind of shows how more savage the humans are at this point.
Well, and they can use her as a human shield if they need. Get another one later.
Yeah, well,
She's
light.
light.
I'll find one.
It's the lightest shield. We were gonna take that dead dude, but it's way too heavy. But yeah, and then they go, and then they run into the other member. There's it's now snowy, and
they got up into the mountains.
Yeah, and now there's this. I don't know how they stumbled upon his house.
No, he tried to steal out of their horses.
They were up on a
do tower.
Recon shit. Yeah.
And the girl's sitting there, and he's just trying to. He
Which
thinks
the way
they're
that
humans.
scene's done, it's very human. Yeah,
it was a very bait and switch, but I loved it.
Yeah, it worked. It's
it was clearly a human in the beginning, and then it was
they were all humans.
Yeah,
they've always this twist of this whole movie. They all take off their
it's us.
haha, we had the good mask. Fuck you, Tim Burton. Ours looked the shit. Yeah.
But then they go on a chase. It's he steals one of their horses.
I was waiting for that gorilla dude to. I thought he was gonna jump down and clobber.
I did too.
Just tackle clobber. Didn't happen.
No,
which is fine because we wouldn't have got that. That would have been a dead character. And it's then what do you do with the story? It's we gotta go find the horses
I will
now.
say one nitpick in my mind that I had in the middle of it. Look up what an adult orangutan weighs or an adult gorilla, and then throw them on a fucking horseback.
Yeah. Well, those were
that bitch
giant horses too.
They weren't Clydesdales. They weren't Clydesdales. They were horses.
They weren't regular horses. They were huge horses. Like the one time the fucking what was it? Somebody stole one of their horses and rode off with it.
Bad guy or bad ape.
Right. I was thinking it was a human, but we just didn't know it was a human yet. Looked tiny, I guess, but it looked human sized.
It's supposed to be a chimp on a horse,
but it looked human sized. But they were giant horses. The hooves on these horses were giant. They weren't normal horses.
I really don't have a problem. But in my mind, again, when it happened, I go, I go, oh fuck that. I go
if they were normal horses, I would have totally been
in my head, those poor horses.
Yeah.
The one's got a gorilla on it. I don't give a fuck. That thing's 600 pounds.
I think it was.
If you threw a 600-pound person on there, how fat that would look.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, that
poor
there
was a fucking what was that Bam Margera show?
Yeah.
And I think they all went horse riding, and his uncle.
Poor Don Vito on a fucking horse.
And I think it was a tiny.
But
I don't think it was a full size horse.
He probably only weighed 300 pounds.
Yeah, I know, but it was like a donkey. Not a donkey. It was like a pony. It was a small horse.
But I'm saying
didn't like it.
I think an adult gorilla weighs a lot.
Yeah. Well, the fucking
and the orangutan probably more.
Yeah, but they always looked funny on horses anyway. Every time they were on horses,
that didn't bother me.
The whole franchise. Every time they're on horse, it just looks weird. It's
it should, because how many times have you seen a full-size ape ride a fucking horse?
Yeah, I haven't been to Russia, so I'm sure it happens all the time there.
If there was a whole movie about the next Planet of the Apes, they're all driving cars, you'd be like, that looks weird. I'm like, yeah, because I haven't seen a monkey drive a car.
No, but it's just not weird like that. It would it doesn't look like that thing is riding that thing. It looks off.
I didn't think that.
But yeah, there just wasn't a whole lot of. It was just certain scenes where it looks like that.
I feel like this face paint was from the second movie, maybe?
Probably. It's
like
most
this
likely
is
fan art because they got it wrong.
Yeah, I feel like this is Caesar from the second movie.
If a major studio put out promotional material with the wrong
name?
fucking name on it, that's but if it's fan art, excited for the thing, and they just type shit in wrong.
Well, here's a weird one. I remember watching the Crow movie a lot on VHS, and my buddy had bought it from the rental store. When they have old movies, they sell them.
Back in the Dizzy.
Back in the
90s.
Yes. And he one of the previews on it was for one of the Highlander movies.
Yeah.
And the preview had a totally different name for the movie than
That
when the
happens.
movie came out.
Well, fucking Edge of Tomorrow
Yeah.
was changed when it went to DVD, and I think UK also had the
To
same
Live,
name.
Die, Kill.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Or Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah. So it's like that's.
But it still said Edge of Tomorrow. They just put Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, but it's like titled differently. Like you can't look it up from Edge of Tomorrow. Like it was just renamed. It was basically the overseas title, and they, for whatever reason, it probably didn't do well in theaters. So it's like, well, let's rebrand it and put it out in
Yeah,
video.
that would, I've seen that a lot on like different clips on the internet, like that they kind of like had a fucking snap. That movie's great too.
The
It would have. That's one of
Oh, it's
those
a
one
great
that's
movie.
like,
Fuck yeah.
It's just
it did
the
horrible
only-
in theaters.
The
but
only reason
like,
it's a cult classic is
Yeah.
because it was so good.
Yeah.
It was such a blockbuster.
was well
it
done.
never made the money back, but they're also making. Aren't they making a sequel?
I'm sure it did okay. I mean, like maybe not in theaters,
No.
but after theaters.
Yeah. Do people buy DVDs anymore, or
No,
just
people
iTunes
buy
buys?
iTunes, yeah, and whatever they. I mean, if it did well on like Netflix numbers, like if they just knew the numbers did real well.
Has it ever been on Netflix?
It was on something for a while. Yeah,
It was maybe Prime or HBO.
I don't know
'Cause
where.
I
I don't
don't know.
remember, but it was a while ago when it was on there. But I'm almost positive it was on Netflix because I didn't have all this other shit till recently. It doesn't matter though. But yeah, they do change titles. But of versus for, I think it's more somebody fucked up. But
There's only
whatever.
one letter off.
Yeah, well,
Eh,
the order.
Ordered. I didn't say anything about the order. I
Yeah.
said one letter.
Yeah. Yeah. So they get their ragtag group, and okay. So this person,
They got the girl now?
The person ends up being not a person. They follow him to his house, and they like see that he ran into. It's like snows everywhere, so they see the footsteps into the fireplace.
Sorry to stop it again. That was one thing that I did kind of go, huh? When they lost the convoy in the snow.
What do you mean?
Didn't-
Lost the convoy in the snow?
They were following the convoy of like army dudes,
Right.
and then just couldn't find them anymore.
Yeah.
The fuck? They just drove heavy machinery through here. There's
Right.
got to be tire tracks. Only nitpick.
I didn't even think about that.
I thought I
it's
was like,
like-
"Is there snow? There's snow," and that
Sure.
and it also
Sure,
led
sure.
them to
Yeah.
Bad Ape.
But maybe they wanted to cut him off.
No,
And
I-
not just be right behind him the whole way. It's like, hey, did you notice there's
They
a
were-
couple apes following us?
Well,
we
they-
need to turn some evasive maneuvers
Hey,
here.
they were
Get
following.
my track on.
They were following too close on the beach too.
Yeah.
When they first started, I go, wouldn't someone just kind of look in the rearview mirror for a second and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm pretty sure there's 4 apes riding horses right behind it." Like,
Yeah.
you can literally see them. They're only.
I mean, who knows how time-wise when they left to how far ahead. I don't know.
No, you could see them like distance-wise. Like they're driving here. They're
I don't
here.
know. It's
There's
like,
nothing in
we
between.
didn't see them the whole way, so who knows? What if maybe the apes have to pee a
I
lot?
love this movie. I'm
Yeah.
just pointing
I don't
out
know. Like
small
that's a weird
snap-
nitpick. It's like you're inventing nitpicks.
No, like I
It's like
literally-
logically, how could
I'm
the
like, he
distance
would've just-
watch fucking escape
Why would
from
you have
L.A.
not seen that guy?
Yeah, yeah, it's whatever. So they track we think is a person to this house into a fireplace. They give up. They throw the shit that they stole and come out hands up. And then once the head comes up, new character, new ape.
We got a new ape, and it's a bad ape.
And it's an
He's a
ape
good
that
ape.
knows how to speak.
Yes,
Does not know sign language, and
he
is
learned it from the
one
zoo.
of the best. Yeah,
He was a zoo creature.
yeah. He was
Wait, where was the zoo? It said
Sahara
the name.
or something. I don't know.
Why? I'm just talking
You know,
to go back, harken
on the
back
mic.
to the. Sorry, harken back to the geographical nature of it.
It wasn't in the United States. Or it's a zoo named after a place that's not like fucking some zoo in some city where it's like, welcome to the Sahara, or it could be a fucking zoo at the Sahara in Las Vegas.
Oh shit!
You're gonna get a lot of people there, and they do have live animals. I know there's like lions and tigers and shit in the hotels. I think MGM. When you walk in, the whole it's like the whole wall is a giant aquarium just for some lions and tigers and shit. Vegas, man.
Vegas, baby.
But yeah, so they meet this new character, instantly becomes my favorite character.
Comic relief
in a lot of
movie.
ways. Yeah.
Perfect.
Steve Zahn. Yeah. Which I heard somebody comment on him like giving a Academy Award performance, and but it was a comic and said potentially in a sarcastic tone. So
it was great.
I was like, but the way they said it was like, was that real? It's like, so I was like, I don't know.
Telling me that.
So I was like listening. I was like, is this him? Is this him? And then it's like, oh no, it's him. And it's like, oh, they're being funny because they're a comic, but they said it in a way where it's like legit, in a way, sincere. But it was great. It was amazing. I still think it was a great performance. He was like the John C. Reilly of Kong.
Yes.
It was like comic relief.
You needed it.
Fucking great.
Yeah, it's like, oh, geez.
He was, I mean, that's different movies. Yeah. For that popcorn kind of monster movie, he was a lot more bubbly, cartoony throughout, where this was like
also reminded me of our neighbor through the alley.
Yeah.
Who his voice sounded a lot like it, and some of his monkey facial expressions actually looked like him. It was weird. I was like,
just to be clear, the dude you're referencing is not black.
Neither was the monkey.
No, I know, but I'm just saying for any of the fucking people that want to be like, just the way you were describing him compared to looking like a monkey.
I wasn't even like,
I don't know.
He doesn't look like. It just had slight facial.
I haven't been away
tendencies.
from Costco long enough to get all the fucking racist, like, just guessing what racist people would think of shit.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but
I don't know.
Yeah, it just reminded me of him a lot. And even when I told you, you were like, "Yeah, I kind of see that."
I've never really had conversations with him, but I just take your word for it.
Yeah, I have.
But he does look like a, yeah, I guess. But yeah, so he's part of the group. This new ape.
Well, then they're like, "Hey, we're looking for the fucking people. What's up?" And they're like, he gives them like a meal, and like he scavenged it from a prison or something.
Yeah.
And it turns out they're like, it says it's on the border.
Right. The border
of California
or Oregon.
It said California on it.
Oh. Yeah. It's
So then
they get a location.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh shit," because they were looking for the border, and they're like, "What the fuck? Border of what?"
Yeah.
And so then they get the clue, and he's like, "Have you been here?" And he's like, "Yeah, but there's bad people there."
Like the chances of finding something that's on the border of California,
there's a lot of border.
Yeah, it's
even though it's only one border, it's a long border.
Get most of the left half of the map is basically California.
It's a very big
Washington
border.
And Oregon are very tiny portions of that border. But yeah, so it's I'm assuming they're just going north.
Maybe
because that's what it looks like. I mean, if the border is like
they could be NorCal and then trying to go Oregon or Washington.
Yeah.
It's Washington.
Because I don't know if they're necessarily going inland because it always seems very rainy.
Beach.
Because even in the like, I mean, I guess there was snow, so it's whatever if you're in mountains, but still precipitation. There's not a lot. I mean, I guess Idaho has all that once you're up in anyway. Now you got me thinking of the fucking geography of this movie when I wasn't even paying attention to any of that. So speculating on nothing.
Very invested in.
I'm speculating third hand.
I was looking at the meal. I'm like, it says California. I'm like, where? Then where would they be crossing?
And yet, like fucking was Escape from L.A. is the most
I've never been to LA. So
yeah, but it's
I just assumed that he could get there that fast.
Sure, it's like sure.
He's having a casual stroll across LA.
Yeah, he didn't even have a horse.
No, he's just walking.
LA. It's ridiculous.
A lot of foot traffic in LA, I heard.
Yeah, a lot of walking. People walk all over the place in LA. Super walking town. You wouldn't think that because it's hot and there's always talk of horrible traffic.
I don't know
Despite
where
being
that comes
laid
from.
out. It's weird. Yeah. But so they get a location. They go, and it's kind of like the final location of the movie. This fort, kind of, which you find out's a slave camp where they've captured a bunch of apes, which are from his.
They captured all the rest
all his
of them.
peeps.
That he was like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys go to the awesome time. We're going to go fucking kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And here it turns out that he was like on the other side, and he was like,
all
hey,
the
look at all
leaders
these
left.
apes.
Yeah, all the leaders left.
Easy pickings.
Yeah.
Why don't we take them and make them slave labor to build a
to
wall?
build the shittiest fucking wall ever.
To trump it up so hard, like, build me a wall, apes.
Yeah.
And I won't feed or give you any water.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like a slave labor camp, and it's just like fuck. And he's, he gets caught, right? How did that happen?
He purposely got caught,
right?
Like because they got ambushed because like they were checking it out.
That's right.
Dude jumps out of nowhere with a bayonet, like because that's still a fucking thing, and kills the gorilla that was with him.
Dude, if you're fighting back like the society's gone and you're still alive,
true, you're throwing
I'm
whatever
throwing
on
a knife
your gun.
on the front of my gun, man.
Fuck it.
It's like,
I'm gonna run out of ammo.
I remember
probably.
World War II.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna
I'll do this
probably
shit.
run out of ammo, and why not have a bayonet?
Exactly.
But yeah, gorilla gets killed. It's super fucking sad.
Yeah, there was a
Like
super
the little
emotional
girl,
moment.
like there
with
was
the girl.
just a semi-emotional moment where him and the girl
He shows
had,
heart. He's
and
like, oh, this big gorilla's got such a huge heart.
pulls
And then
a
he's
flower
gonna get
out of
popped.
a blooming tree, puts it behind her ear.
Yeah.
And then he is dying, and then she pulls the flower out and then puts it behind his ear. I kind of teared up on that one a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's like they set it up to knock it down.
Yeah,
like if
they
they
did.
didn't have that scene,
If they didn't have
It
that
would've-
scene,
it would've been a
would
bummer.
have been like,
It would've
why
been a
is
bummer.
she so emotionally invested
for sure,
in this
but-
fucking gorilla?
just the fact that I mean, it's like it would have been a bummer if he died, but it wouldn't have been like it's like I wanted to see more of him.
Yeah.
Like he just like we just got to see a
And
little taste.
and what he signed, he was like, "At least I was there to protect you this time." Like,
Yeah.
harkening
Well, that's
back
why they
to the
went.
last movie.
Yeah. So so super, like, they're in it now, and it's a guy from the beginning of the movie that he spared the life of. That's the guy that ends up being a major part in the end of the film.
Crossbow guy.
Yeah, crossbow guy, who's an
Crossbow
amazing
guy
shot.
kind of bothered me
in
in the fact that like
could be the
he
fact that
showed
he's an
you
asshole.
fucking-
I know.
ah
Yeah. Well, that's fucking military, man. Military
Fuck that
sides.
guy.
Military. They kill like fucking civilians, like modern day military.
fuck you, crossbow guy.
But yeah, so it's like a lot of things coming back when he gets caught. It's like, oh shit. He sees the fucking his nemesi again, Woody. And that's where he finds out that he killed his family, right? Is that where he finds out?
No, he
Found out.
knew that he. Woody
apologizes.
Woody finds out.
Yeah. Well, Woody was trying to kill him
Yes.
and killed a bunch of
And
people.
thought he-
didn't know he killed his. Like he just wanted to know. He's like he knew he did something.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck did I do to
He's
make
like-
you so
he's like,
angry?
who did I
Yeah,
kill?
and he's like my
He's like,
wife
you
and
killed
my
my
kid.
wife and
Yeah.
my son.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, okay.
And he's
He
like,
didn't really give a shit. He just wanted to know.
yeah, he's like,
why are
oh,
you trying to avenge?
so emotional?
Whose deaths are you
why,
trying to avenge?
why are you so
Yeah.
emotional?
I love
It's
that
like-
scene.
I
love
did
that.
too.
Like, it's crazy that like
But
so
it makes
much of this
it makes
is
you
just
think that
CG.
he's crazy,
Yeah.
and he even acknowledges he's like, you think I'm crazy, don't you?
I mean,
and I was like in the audience going, yes, I think you're crazy.
Yeah.
You are a crazy asshole.
I never thought he was not crazy.
And then
but,
you're telling us how you murdered your own son because he stopped talking.
That's when the fucking...
He stopped talking.
By the way,
you're like,
that scene is when the fucking... It's had to have been a kid. I was going to perform a late-term fucking abortion on this goddamn piece of shit. Was rocking my fucking chair.
Yeah.
During that whole scene, because it's like very quiet, very dramatic, and my fucking seat's going like this, and it's like I'm trying to just get through it because like it'll get actiony. I won't even notice this fucker, and I'm trying to like rock back, like hey, like
stop
I
it.
can feel you, you can feel me,
Yeah.
on your feet. That's my back, asshole. That's my back. So I'm trying to do that through this scene and pay attention to this fucking scene. That's amazing. And then I was gonna fucking turn around. I'm gonna stare at whoever the fuck is there.
It's like a 13-year-old kid.
I stared. There was an adult, not like right behind, like to my right, and I fucking stared at him, and I fucking turned back, and then there's nothing. I didn't hear anything. I was like waiting for somebody to get scolded or like stop. They started to do it again later, and I heard like, but it's like, I'm not dealing with this right now. It's like, if we're gonna have scenes like this, I'm not gonna be fucking being rocked to sleep by some fucking asshole behind me.
I think as invested as I was in that movie, I would have just stood up and been like,
all of those things were like, well, let me just start with just like staring somebody in the face. It's like if anybody turned around and stared at me in my face, I know something's up.
Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah, this is the most. I don't want to fuck everybody else's shit up. It's not like they're being loud.
Say,
it's like nobody else knows I'm getting fucked with.
Everyone was being quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't any.
There was no disruptions, which I was worried about because I had like a 16-year-old couple in front of me.
Yeah,
and
they were talking through all the. It wasn't even the trailers started, but
they were still
shit.
talking through the trailers.
Oh yeah, that's right. People behind me were too.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, like, and I looked.
A couple times during the movie too, like towards the end. Like I think it was explaining what just happened to his retard kid.
Stop it! I hate.
But it's like,
what happened?
It was I mean, short.
Are you not paying attention? If you weren't paying attention,
the worst. Passion of the fucking bullshit Christ, right? Bullshit like smut film that religious people love. I love seeing torture porn when it comes to the religious figure that died for my sins. My sins. Torture porn. Fucking 3 rows ahead. Must have been like, I don't know what language. Primarily empty theater.
Yeah.
Fucking the whole movie translating everything into whatever language they spoke. And it was like the worst movie to begin with, and then I have like fucking like alternate commentary.
I don't care. I'd have lost it. I would have.
Yeah. But I was like, this movie is dog shit anyway.
True.
It was a horrible experience all around. It was like, oh well.
I watched it without anyone interrupting me, and I was like,
it's like, wow, the audience makes me hate this movie just as much as the movie did, and I'm sure they love it. They probably loved it.
Just reminded me of
that movie did so well.
Walking the Stations of the Cross, which is the thing that Catholics do, which is kind of reenacts. That's the story. It's the Station of the Cross. So there's 12.
Which, if you don't know the story of that, it's like you want to talk about a movie that's horrible at telling a story. Is that movie because it didn't?
They just assume you know the Bible inside now.
It's the Batman versus Superman of bullshit movies.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
let's
it's amazing.
Stop talking about bad movies. And start talking about good
movies.
But
that was
Fuck
like
that movie.
That was one of the worst experiences
Fuck that movie.
of people.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I was talking about people that fucking ruin a movie, and it's a dramatic.
And then we started
scene.
talking about the movie.
It's a dramatic scene when Woody Harrelson and fucking Caesar and the donkey and the fucking other guy. And I
don't even know where we're at, but
that's where we were.
Great.
It was. But it's like, okay, they're in the same area. Caesar's caught. The other guys of his ragtag group are on the outside, and they all start communicating. They all start using their sign language.
They force them into slave labor. To build the stupid wall.
That's what they're there. They're making a wall, slave labor, and it's the typical like,
No food, no water. We
and
talked
it's like
about that.
their leader is back, and he says no, and they all listen. Then there's a
first off, they all
battle of
like
heads.
Turned their back on him because, like, hey, you abandoned us, and then we all got captured, and then have been being slaves for a while.
There was a lot of politicking going on within the ape community that day, and but they resolved their issues. They started working together, teaming up. Fucking people on the outside, because he was separated from his kid. That scene when he gets brought
and his
in,
ragtag group,
when he got brought in, and his kid's like screaming at him.
Father, and they keep signing father.
And just like the way they did the voice of the screeching of the ape, and that's for whatever it sounds like to scream father emotionally.
Well, they only subtitled it when he signed father.
Yeah.
He was just monkey screeching,
but you could still hear the
the pain. Yeah,
sure.
Oh my God,
their grunts could still have certain meaning to it, because it was like a very like he was shaky just like, baby. Dad. Which is just like there's like so much of this fucking movie just tears your goddamn heart out. But yeah, so it becomes like, and even the score of the thing when they start doing their shit, it's like it's like we're working on a shit, you don't know what's going on, other thing is going on, and it's just like everything kind of. All of the later events kind of just pile up. Like they finally like fucking bad ape pokes his head through.
Oh, I loved that scene.
So great. It's just like every scene with that. Like that could be if they want to do some cheap spin-off shit, like have him as like some like kids character thing or whatever.
Show him escaping from the zoo with his other zoo
prequel
friends.
Kind of a spin-off Rogue One kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm down.
And then how he loses all his friends, and then he survives and then gets up into the mountains. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Steve Zahn. Let's do it.
Let's give him a franchise.
Fuck it.
Damn. The best.
We could do 2 of them.
Fucking.
We don't need 3, but we could do 2.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be a whole.
Zoo.
It could just be.
It
one.
could be Zoo
just
Life.
One. Just one. Yeah. To be like the serious Madagascar.
Yeah.
Like the. But I'd love to see it. Like I could see him being just like a kid's character, like animated character. This is a crazy thing. Not to jump out of the movie again and talk about when we left this screening. I didn't realize how many kids were in that theater.
There's a lot of kids.
So many kids. I was like, you see what? Like,
would you even have enjoyed it as a kid? How prolific are you in reading?
I would have loved Bad Ape.
Yeah, but how prolific are you in reading?
True, but so much of it was you didn't like. You could have just looked at their faces, and I mean, a lot of it was just this movie. Probably like all the movies that try to like do so much to ruin their film to make it sell better overseas. This one, because it's just very little dialogue, probably just translates instantly.
So easy.
Overseas, this movie is probably going to destroy. And it's a fucking amazing movie.
You got to extra subtitle 5 minutes of the movie.
They didn't like add Asian monkeys or something like that just to like sell better in China.
But I also thought of that too. I'm like, what's up with apes in Asia? I wonder what's going on over there if it spread like that far.
Like in this universe?
Yeah.
It is weird. I mean, I never really from what I thought going into it, not really, but where I assumed maybe the situation with humanity is at.
Well, in the prelogue, they kind of said that.
Yeah.
This wiped out like everyone all over the world.
Yeah,
we got planes and shit. People fucking catch shit, fly somewhere.
But it seems like there's apes they don't even know about. Like
that's what I'm saying. Once they met Bad Ape and they didn't know, and he wasn't from their tribe, but he got smart anyway.
Yeah.
Which makes me. I'm like, oh shit! I wonder what's going on like in Africa, in fucking
if I did
Asia.
have a gripe, it's the very, very end. Not very, very end, but the end where they're like, it's the wide shots of them like mountaintops, the whole group of them. No, just walking, and how many there were.
Still,
like, just in general, when you saw the slave camp, there weren't that many. I mean, it was a decent-sized camp, but it wasn't... But what might explain that, now that we kind of talked about it, maybe they ran into other ape groups on their trip to...
Could've.
And it was a longer trip, and they did end up in, like... I mean, it didn't look like Utah, but it could have been, like, or Colorado or something, like, if they did, and it's just, like, from... wherever they left off in the movie, and it's just like montage to where they end up at the very, very end. Like, who knows how far they travel?
Who knows?
So maybe they did run into a shitload of apes on their way.
I mean, they literally
how many apes are in the wild?
Well, now most of
In
the
the
humans
US?
are done.
In the U.S.?
But if
Where's the habitat?
all right, people keep monkeys and like
Sure,
chimps
sure,
and shit.
sure.
Like those chimps,
Sure.
like
Not that many. I mean, there's probably a bunch, but a bunch. Not like fucking like a huge like
Texas
that was
has
like
more lions than in the wild.
Yeah, I'm talking about fucking apes.
I'm sure that there's more.
Apes.
I'm sure that there's more chimps
No.
kept as pets than
Apes?
lions.
Apes? You want to talk about like a human
Chimpanzee's
thing?
an ape.
Sure, but like I don't know, man. Maybe. But like what's the habitat? What are you going to do? Just like, "Oh, go outside, fucker. Just go in the dirt."
Well,
Like, don't they have,
that's why he
like,
was fucking
trees and
scavenging shit.
But that was like that would be something that would explain that scene where it's like, "Oh, there's a shitload of them now." It's like I don't feel that bad. Like percentage-wise, they lost a small percentage in the final battle.
Yeah.
Or they lost a shitload of people and just have met.
It's been speculated that the human
A bunch
race
of
went
shit.
down to like 2,000 people at one point.
Sure, but I'm talking about in this universe, I would imagine makes more sense that they met more people because the amount of apes that they showed at the end
I didn't
were
even notice that.
far more than like
I felt like there was like 20
So
by the
many.
end. And like
I mean, when they showed the pen, when he looked in, like it wasn't like thousands, it was hundreds.
yeah.
It was kind of, I mean, it was like a lot smaller
Maybe
number.
100.
Yeah, it was a way smaller number. But that would explain it. If they met, since there are other monkeys or apes, both, whatever, I'm sure they don't discriminate.
I want a spider monkey to be all smart and shit.
Nah. It'd be like a meth head.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's we got
we got Steve Zahn.
we got Steve
Yeah,
Zahn.
it's cool. We got Steve Zahn.
Yeah. Jim Carrey was that kind
Yeah.
of a thing for a while. It was very much a spider monkey intentions.
You know, I almost don't want to ruin the end of it.
No, I don't want. Yeah, we don't have to do that. But yeah, there's the end of the movie is in this compound, and it's like so much of the movie is very much like take a step forward,
You win,
take
I
two steps
win.
back.
You win, I win.
And it's
I
like,
win.
yeah, and then nope.
And then no, I don't win.
No, you didn't win.
But then
I did
yes,
win.
I did
Yeah.
win.
It's kind of I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the end of the movie. Like the end, like where it was
I
just
loved
like
everything.
Yeah.
I really didn't have a problem with.
No. I got
the
more
people-
emotional at the end of this movie than I did Logan.
I got about equally, but I was definitely got more emotional more times in this movie than I did Logan.
yeah.
Because
for
it wasn't
sure.
just one time I got emotional.
This movie encapsulates all the emotions. It's got suspense, action,
Drama.
humor, drama. It's got everything, all of it, and it's
Tragedy.
yeah, it's great. And I don't know. I imagine they're gonna keep doing them. Maybe somebody else will take over. I always thought it was a trilogy, but like with how movies go today and how well it was, I hope
think
it's more
I
like
think
Batman
the next one
trilogy.
should be like 20 years in the future of like how much progress they've made.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like they could still go. Like it could be the end of human civilization in the next one.
Well, they pretty much said that everyone else.
Sure, but there's still armies with uniforms, so there's still some kind of organization.
Yeah, but I'm saying
stuff
they
there.
all died.
But that was is that everybody? I mean, if that was the only
Woody
army
Harrelson said it.
If that was the only army left,
Everyone else.
why the fuck are they in pristine uniforms?
That's what I'm saying. That's weird.
No, that's what I just said. That's why I think there's still people left, but it's just like military groups and a few rich people in bunkers.
What's
you know?
going on in Asia?
Sure.
Like there's
That's-
other They
But
ran
you know
into
what?
a random
Do
dude
a- do a-
and found a little girl that wasn't with either group.
I mean, that's what it could be, like a Mad Max post-apocalyptic kind of movie where there's still humans around,
Well,
but there's still not civilization like, oh, now there's monkey cities.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that next.
I'd like to see Monkey Tree City.
I don't just like it'd just be stupid. It would just be stupid. It'd be so stupid.
Right
Do a
after,
fucking
like-
tonally, it'd be stupid. It's like, oh, they're successful. It's great. It's just like the Lego movie remade with apes. Everything is awesome. Will Ferrell's still in it. That'd be great. I'd like to see post-apocalyptic ape movie, like a Mad Max Apes. I don't know. I want it to be done.
Yes.
Do
you can stop.
Reboot it with somebody else.
10
somebody
years-
else wants
10
to-
years
sure.
later.
Yeah, like with
But
Batman.
Stop. This
Christopher Nolan, done. That chunk, done. I'm done. Good. Don't.
for me, the third one, best of the three.
Yeah, I really loved it, but it's like, as a whole, it's really great too.
Yeah, like I didn't have problems. Like I said a bunch of things that I was
No,
like,
I mean, like
I thought of.
franchise-wise.
Oh yeah.
Like from
This
the
is-
first movie to the last movie, last one the best, but they're all fucking great.
This for me,
The first might be the weakest.
trilogy wise,
Yeah.
might go like for
A
me.
lot of people
it'd be
are
like
saying-
Star Wars,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Planet of the Apes.
I'd easily go Planet of the Apes over Lord of the Rings. No hate on Lord of the Rings. Great There's a lot of great franchises.
That's
you
just
you
different.
love that franchise.
Yeah, I do.
Franchise. Man. I almost have to go Toy Story up there somewhere.
But I'm saying like top three.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Toy
Because
Story.
Star Wars. Because here's the thing. Here's the reality of a lot of the franchises that we love, right? Even Star Wars. The first one's pretty weak. The first one's way better, especially with Rogue One. Story wise, kind of leads up into it. Fucking makes it great. Pretty basic movie. Whereas 2, like there's dramatic. It's very much a lot of shit. Fucking Back to the Future 2, very much. Versus this, like they're all consistently amazing, kind of thing. So I take that into consideration. You know,
now that you
in a
mentioned
way.
Back to the Future,
Back to the Future's great, but it's like as far as like top level consistency, it's hard to know. I don't know a franchise that's this great.
maybe fourth for me then. I think it was Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, Planet of the Apes.
Which
But
is
to
still
be in
great.
the fucking
Yeah, top 5,
to be mentioned with those
Yeah.
movies, you
Yeah.
fucking kidding me?
yeah. And
Go
I
watch
think
this shit, people.
I think if we didn't grow up with a lot of those franchises, we watched
it would have
all
been
of them
totally
fresh.
It would have
Yeah.
been totally different.
Because as far as franchises or trilogies
Back
go,
to the
like
Future-
even like consider a modern day trilogy, like they're doing all of them now, like Batman. This is better than the Batman because there's aspects of the
I didn't
Batman.
say
No, but like the second Batman's the best. Third one's kind of weak. First one's pretty good. All of these are like high level. So it's like the consistency of this franchise is almost at the top. Whether
Yeah.
it's your favorite or not, different question. But it's like I don't know of a franchise that's that consistently good. And I think it's more because it's under the radar. It's not like a Disney production where it's got to be this like we have to have this look because there's going to be 20 of them. And it's like if it's a smaller thing, you could kind of do more stylized shit. But yeah,
good.
I loved it. So let's play some UMC.
All right,
Yeah.
I gotta take a bathroom break.
All right, go do that. Well, while Keith goes pee-pee in the potty, I invite everybody to go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/inspireddisorder. It's where you can donate to the show, not only this show, but all the other projects that I'm involved with, everything inspireddisorder.com, including artwork, prints, Photoshop, this podcast, the early retirement vlog, and maintaining all of the different sites and social networks and all that kind of stuff. It all costs money. I want to do this for a living. You can help me do that by going to patreon.com/inspireddisorder and donating $1, or if you want some perks, you can donate more. Patreon.com/inspireddisorder. And with all that said, let's get into the Ultimate Movie Championship, brought to you by patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Keith is still not back, but I am here for you. So this is where we go to flickchart.com/IDP, and we rank movies. And we did. Can you grab?
Yeah.
And we did teen movies last time because we had watched and reviewed Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is another great movie of this great summer of movies that we have seen. I've not seen Zombie Strippers. Sorry, Keith. I know that's your favorite jerkin material from back in 2008.
Jenna Jameson and Robert Englund.
Ooh. The Departed versus Elf.
The Departed.
The Departed. I agree. The movie Scorsese won an Academy Award for, despite should have having won it for so many other movies.
Chasing Amy. Classic Kevin Smith movie versus Mission Impossible, the first.
The OG.
Chasing Amy.
I really like the first Mission Impossible. I like a lot of the Mission Impossibles. They're not all great, but there's a lot of really fun ones. And that one was iconic.
For me, it's definitely Chasing Amy on this one.
Chasing Amy. I'll go Chasing Amy. It is one of my more favorite Kevin Smith movies.
It was probably his most dramatic of the early movies.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Raid.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
That's what I've heard from a lot of people.
It's a fun action movie. Space Jam. Almost did both. Man, that's a bummer. I heard The Raid 2 is actually even
better,
ramped up. Yeah.
I've heard it's just. I mean, it's just action scenes.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I don't really watch. I have to be in a mood to watch just pure action movie. Like I need a little bit more. Like a John Wick has a little bit more than just action movie. Or it's done in a way that you just haven't seen, like Equilibrium.
It's like the opening video of every World Star Fight comp.
Yeah,
it's like The Raid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or it's just
clips of movies.
Like the craziest action choreo.
Or like Ong Bak. There's a lot of them. Punch Drunk Love versus Space Jam.
Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love. The most dramatic and probably one of the best performances from Adam Sandler. You know? And probably one of my least favorite of that director, but still, I enjoy that movie.
Were you the one that was telling me that they kept having to tell him to fucking chill out?
Yeah. The director kept telling him to calm down.
It's like you're playing a
which it was.
An emotionally disturbed person, not a fucking crazy person.
Yeah, you're not playing a cartoon character. Ghost Rider, the fucking what was his name? Nicolas Cage. I have seen that. Versus Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I have seen as well. And there's first up, Ghost Rider's not going to beat shit.
No, it's terrible.
It is horrible.
I'll go Eternal Sunshine.
Sunshine. Die Hard 2. That's a weird 58 minutes. Poor Vivier. 58 minutes. You see.
One Hard 3. One Hard 2. Die Hard 2.
Bruce. Bruce. Phone Booth. I don't know how I got Bruce from Phone Booth.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
Oh, that's probably yeah. My brain. Die Hard 2 versus out of the original Die Hard's the weakest of the first three. Versus Phone Booth, a movie that takes place mostly in a phone booth.
Die Hard 2.
Yeah. You seen the booths of phone?
Yeah. Colin Farrell.
It was done at the right time, as phone booths were becoming things that nobody knew anything about.
I'll never answer a random phone booth that fucking starts ringing when I'm walking by it.
Yeah. Payphone? Well, good luck finding a payphone, first off.
I think there's one by the Conoco.
Every once in a while I'll see one, but I don't know. Like a lot of the times when I'll see them, it's just like there's no actual phone. Just like the phone and the cord,
the booth, yeah.
the headset or the headset. Actually, I haven't seen a phone booth.
Oh, a booth?
Probably
booth?
ever.
No.
They don't have those in the desert. Those are called death traps. We go, let's go into a. Although hey,
do you guys have a sauna in here? I could just instantly pass out in.
According to Anchorman, they had him back in the 70s because he was trapped
in a glass case of emotion.
I never saw any in San Diego, but I could see some on the coast. A little cooler there.
Ransom.
Which we saw a trailer for the Halle Berry. No, Halle Berry? Was it Halle Berry?
Yeah, it was Halle Berry
Ransom. Which
Kidnap.
I heard that was supposed to come out like 2 years ago.
Rated
Keeps
R?
getting pushed back. Well, yeah, she fucks her kid before it gets stolen. It's not actually her kid. She's one of those teachers, but the kids are like way younger.
Hide and seek at an amusement park with their fucking. Like, just from the preview, I was like, you deserve to lose your kid, bitch.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why it keeps getting pushed back, from what I heard. But the original, Ransom versus Mr. Deeds. I had to go Ransom. I don't like Mr. Deeds. Ransom was fun. It was okay.
Ransom wasn't fun.
Well, it was like, for what it was good. It was good. It was good. Mr. D. I don't like anything about Mr. Deeds. There's nothing about Mr. Deeds I give a fuck about. Out of the Adam Sandler movies I have seen of his, and not
true, but out of the Mel
on.
Gibson movies, I mean, what's Ransom on that? Like
better than Mr. Deeds. Like, I mean, Adam Sandler hasn't done like Mel Gibson's done great shit. Like he did Braveheart.
And that
versus
that new Daddy's
Mr.
movie
D,
that you want to see so much.
That's the trailer for that I've seen so much. Is better than Mr. Deeds. Just that trailer
also
alone.
better than Ransom. Ransom is not. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
It was your basic like fucking
Taken.
My kid, yeah, but like
give me back my son.
Yeah, except for Taken's like, oh, I'm a superhero. I'm gonna go fucking kill a bunch of people as an old man. It was like there were more dramatic moments where he's like arguing with people and shit. But yeah, he's fucking Mel Gibson. Of course, Payback is kind of close to that movie too. Just like fun.
The other one that
movies.
came out like right around this time, where like he was like
Payback.
Was that the conspiracy theorist?
No, Conspiracy Theory, with
Roberts.
Yeah, Julie Roberts.
Yeah, I like that one way better than Ransom.
Me too. But we're comparing Ransom to a movie. I'd watch if those two things are on TV. I'm not fucking watching Mr. Deeds. I'll put Ransom on. It's like at least I know it's gonna be like
I would
decent movie.
rather watch Mr. Deeds, honestly.
I mean, we can go to the numbers. We'll see.
But
I'm not.
Ransom will probably win Mr. Deeds. I'm sure Mr. Deeds has got it terrible. But
get the Gringo. I would choose over Mr. Deeds, which is the worst.
Wow, that's terrible.
Oh, Mr. Deeds is dog shit. There's nothing good about Mr. Deeds. The only thing that sticks in my head about that dog shit movie is the scene that's in the trailer where he stabs him in the fucking
He's got a black foot.
Which is stupid. It's got the perfect Blackfoot. Like if you have fucking frostbite, that shit's not looking like just a black foot.
You would have had to have that shit cut off.
Yeah.
You don't just keep a black foot.
But that was the whole thing. It's like,
but it's also an Adam Sandler movie, and it's ridiculous.
Not a good Adam Sandler movie though. This was like way after good Adam Sandler. Like this is
Let's be
Big
clear.
Daddy was
Happy
was
Gilmore
his,
is while we find it hilarious.
Yeah.
No, it's
Mr.
better
Deeds
than this.
is
But I'm saying it's also a terrible fucking movie.
It is what it's trying to do. It does really well.
Chubbs Peterson, I have a fake wooden hand. Why's your arm a foot and a half longer than the other?
It's an SNL fucking
I'm
comedy.
fucking holding on to
it's
a fake
every
foot
single
and
SNL comedy. They're all fucking just corny ass, whatever. But they're fun. Some of them are funny. This isn't funny. This is a comedy that's not funny.
Will Sasso
versus a thriller that's
Happy
thrilling.
Gilmore, and it was like his first. He was like 19.
Cool.
He was one of the moving guys.
I would go so many of Adam Sandler's shit over Ransom, but not Mr. Deeds.
Look at
Mr. Deeds is like,
let's see it.
One of his worst movies.
No.
I like his Netflix shit way better than Mr. Deeds.
No.
Yeah. Click is about as good as Mr. Deeds.
We're drawing a line there.
Let's see, Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds is not good.
No, I'm sure it's terrible.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
22%. Yeah, I get it.
No, I'm not. I wasn't expecting it, but I don't think
But I'm
Ransom's
saying I don't
be.
like Ransom.
Sure.
I'd rather watch that. I mean, sure, Ransom was like 50 something. 75, damn.
You took my son.
Give me back my son. Pi, the weirdest fucking movie you've ever seen, versus The Sound of Music. It's a musical about Nazis.
I'm going Pi.
Yeah.
It's like Sound of Music, as far as musicals that my mom loved, I don't give a fuck about. If it was Mary Poppins, I might have some different. If I
My
had a spoonful of
sister
sugar.
did the musical when she was in high school, and I mean, I went because I kind of had to. Red River, not for me. Lost World. That's the second one.
Lost World, Jurassic Park versus Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Scotty Pilgrim.
Lost World is probably the second worst of the franchise.
Yeah, that's why I picked Scotty Pilgrim.
The newest one
Which is a
the
fun
worst.
movie.
Scotty Pilgrim's the best. Fucking
Edgar
Baby
Wright?
Driver. Yep.
Damn it.
Fucking great director. Fucking artist.
Artist.
No, like,
Not a,
you look at those two movies, aside from the music,
totally.
stylistically,
everything's different.
Yeah, you can go
but
fuck
it's
yourself.
also both magically works in the context.
you can tell that they were both made by him. Like, once you understand his sensibility for movies and music and certain scenes.
I would say between those two movies, yes, but maybe not the Cornetto trilogy.
There's scenes in it
There
that
are
kind of hint at
there are
it, but
small
yeah.
clips in it that allude to what he really is.
Those are like his Marvel movies where they all kind of look similar and kind of feel similar actors too in all of them.
Well, the same actors.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty
there's
much.
I think the last one there's some different. I don't know.
There's
I don't really
Simon
like the
Pegg
last
and Nick
one.
Frost.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim
For
versus
The World.
yeah. If that was the first
It was
Jurassic
so fun.
Park,
It was really fun.
Yeah, I love
like
that
the first
movie.
time, like I really didn't watch it until like a couple years later, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I think I rented it, but I heard like Comic-Con there was a big thing and like
I wasn't.
they did
I
like
wasn't
a
on the
secret-
internet in those days,
Right.
and I was just like, "Oh, this is a movie." I'm like, "Oh,
Edgar Wright showed up at Comic-Con San Diego and they're like, "Hey, everybody in Hall H, let's go across the street to the movie theater and watch it right now." And then they had the DJ, one of the DJs that's in the movie, do performance as everybody's kind of coming in. And then, boom, everybody got to see it. Like, surprise screening for everybody.
Well, Kevin
It'd be
Smith
like,
kind of got
shit.
fucked out. Like the other year, he was like at Hall H, like right behind J.J. Abrams, and it was like, "Hey, everybody,
Yeah.
we're having a fucking concert outside, and you're all invited."
Oh, the Star Wars one?
Yeah.
A friend of mine went to that with her
and
now
he's
husband.
and so
Yeah.
Kevin got in there, and he's like, "There's like 30 people," and they're like, I mean, are you? I would be like, "Are you gonna do anything really awesome?" Because like I kind of want to go with the J.J. Abrams thing,
Yeah.
but I'm staying. I'm waiting.
Oh,
So
Kevin Smith's all of a sudden going to beat Star Wars?
Yeah.
No.
No, he's the biggest Star
He's-
Wars
I
fan.
know.
Like,
That's
he
the
wanted
thing.
to go.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I want to go too.
Oh, well, I guess
like,
that sucks
can we,
for him,
Can we
but-
all go?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how about let's all
Literally,
go?
that's what he should have done. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you guys are here? Let's all go.
Yeah. Can
We're
we
gonna go
all
to-
just like let's go?
I know you guys are fans of me and probably will dig this, and sad that you missed it. So let's all go. Although they
Yeah.
had like the group that went, there was like stormtroopers like guiding everybody through the town to the, because it was on like a pier, and they did like a fireworks show or laser show or some shit. It was like a crazy thing. But yeah, that was the Scott Pilgrim screen. But it would be crazy. Imagine going to like Comic-Con, you know, super geek status, have to go to Comic-Con, wait in those day-long lines to get into Hall H, and for Edgar Wright, assuming that's what you're waiting for, because a lot of people just wait through the whole day.
Well, here's the other thing. Like people that get like good seats at those things, like they're first in line before the doors open. They're also
people camp out for days.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're also walking straight to Hall H, bypassing anything that they would have seen in the convention.
Yeah, you can't
And
see
then
anything
just
else. You have to be in
stopping
line the whole time.
Right there.
Yeah.
And then being like, okay, now I wait a day.
From what I heard, a lot of the previous ones were all a lot of girls. Like, a lot of people got pissed off at Twilight because it was just a bunch of girls, and Twilight was like late in the day. So like all the early panels nobody can get into because there's a bunch of fucking tween bitches getting their periods for the first time waiting for Twilight panel.
Like just
People were
sitting in the
pissed.
hall the whole day.
Because that's what you do. Because you have to wait for days just to get in. And once you get in, if you leave, that seat's available. So people get in and wait there all day.
I'd literally just be holding a big cup and peeing.
I've never had any desire.
Peeing in it.
I've never had any desire in my life to go to Comic-Con. Never ever. It's like, oh, you want to go? And like, going to the UFC Expo. It's like, I don't like being around a lot of people. You can go fuck yourself. Oh, stand in line with a bunch of people. Oh, 2 things that I don't want to spend my life doing. Oh, I'm gonna be, like, imagine going to like fucking like a big music festival, and all you did at that music festival was stand in line.
I lived
without any music.
I lived 50 minutes away from the #1 amusement park in the world, Cedar Point.
Yeah,
and it's an awesome place, and you get to do awesome things, but you also ride the line ride for most of your day.
The only time I ever went to Six Flags or any of that shit was like during the weekday during school, and where it's dead, and you can just kind of go on all the rides.
And no,
every other time
get me wrong, because
down.
It was so close.
Yeah,
I got days like that.
Yeah,
and that was awesome.
Yeah,
and I loved it.
It's the only time to go.
But
at least you get a ride at the fucking end of the line.
You do.
Go to a fucking convention. Oh, I'm getting an autograph worth nothing on a fucking headshot.
Yeah, I will say, like, there was, I guess, I remember...
I'm talking about the UFC Expo, by the way, not necessarily comics where they are collectible shit.
But a couple years ago, like, at Comic-Con, there was, like, the Marvel Hall H. It was, like, they pulled out every fucking Marvel star.
Sure.
And, like, it did a panel, and I'm like, that would have been fun to go to. And
sure.
Or the one year Tom Hiddleston came out in his full Loki costume.
I remember.
Or to see the Bryan Cranston, who had worn his own latex mask, like, you know, one of those realistic looking masks.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, Walter White. And he gets up on the panel and he takes it off and it's actually him.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit. Like, that'd have been fun.
Sure.
Like,
but knowing the reality of what it's going to be like.
Knowing that you had to stand in line for fucking a day and a half to see that, fuck that.
Yeah, and this is like...
Not worth it.
Like, if I didn't go to Coachella and see the Chili Peppers, knowing that I could have, I would have been bummed, right? But the reality of going to Coachella in the desert...
You went?
It was back when they only had one-day passes.
Right.
It was the next day was the Rage Against the Machine reunion, which... I just got back to San Diego when another friend from the desert called and said she had an extra ticket. And I was like, I'm already 3 hours away.
I would have turned around.
I wouldn't have made it in time. The show would have been over.
That sucks.
Yeah, it would have been impossible.
Like, Cleveland was 3 hours away from me.
Yeah.
During concert days. And I went to a concert, drove back home, and the next day someone was like, bro, I got a free ticket for you tomorrow if you give me a ride.
But the weather is summer in the desert. So it's 110 degrees.
1,000 degrees.
Outside.
1,000.
I was dehydrated because I got wasted the day before. So I'm hungover.
No.
Dehydrated.
Yeah. No.
Outside in the desert where every person that's never been in the desert and lived there, like every time you complain about how fucking hot it is, you're just like... I can't listen to you. You don't know what hot is. But never experienced hot. This is warm. But it's like, I get it. You've never experienced it. I haven't been like 30 below. I get it. I haven't experienced it. But I'm also not complaining. It doesn't really get cold here, but it's like...
I'm
just saying.
I have been in Houston in the middle of the summer quite a few times.
Sure.
With humidity.
Sure. Now
like
go outside.
110 with humidity.
Now go outside all day after being dehydrated and drunk and all that shit.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you.
And towards the end of the day, when it gets cooler and shit, you can go fuck yourself with it getting cooler because it's like billions of people packed in. By the time you're at the fucking final thing, everybody's there. You look behind yourself where 8 hours ago was just a field of emptiness.
Yeah.
Every single person that you could pack into that field is now in, and it's like a mile of people behind you, and it's like you can't. There's no air. There's zero air. You're breathing other assholes' carbon dioxide, and it's hot as fuck because there's no. It's bodies on bodies, and then you get to watch a show that you know. It's like cool. I was at Coachella. I got to see my favorite band perform, but the situation can go fuck itself because I'm never gonna do that again. Never gonna do that again.
20-year-old me loved.
You could pay me $1,000 to go to a fucking festival.
Love to do shit like that.
Yeah, I was in my 20s.
Once I got
late
to
20s,
I got to like late 20s, I was like, no, I just like I've been at metal shows where it's literally we're really breaking the fire code for like you can't even. Like, literally, I have to just shove everyone out of my way to get anywhere.
Yeah. And then you look behind you, and there's, like,
and everyone just fills your vacuum. It's instant.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And
it's just sweat.
It's just
it's the most humid because everybody's fucking sweat is evaporating, and there's
middle
no
of
oxygen.
Summer inside a bar.
People passing out all over the fucking
metal
place.
shows especially are bad for BO. Because a lot of
Coachella's great with deodorant.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, any fucking I can't imagine any like even if you like Warped Tour, stinky people. Like I went to Ozfest, stinky people.
I bet Lilith.
All of them. I can't think of like even Oddball, a comedy festival that I don't know if it's still doing. I would imagine stinky motherfuckers.
Comic-Cons are notorious for that.
Stinky motherfuckers.
Sweaties.
Fucking UFC Expo, which doesn't exist anymore. Stinky motherfuckers. They don't do that anymore.
You know what? I went to the Arnold Classic a lot of years. No one stunk. But it was kind of like because they were all like ex-body bros, so like
right. Actually,
it stinks, but in like a not terrible way. I'd rather smell a bad perfume than
love the scent of bodybuilders, the pheromones
then I would rather smell bad Axe than a bunch of people with terrible BO all at once.
I hate Axe, man. First off, Axe is way too strong. Like working in a kitchen, the only scent that penetrates everything. You can smell somebody wearing Axe spray coming up, and the majority of people that I notice that wear Axe spray, it doesn't do anything for their body odor. It is a giant battle, and Axe, it's like taking a shit in a bathroom and then spraying whatever bullshit they got in there. It's like I can smell both of these things really strong right now. They're teamed up.
The only body spray I've ever had, it's usually been Axe, and it's mostly because my mom every Christmas thinks that that's what
when I was in my early 20s, I did the Axe thing for a minute.
No,
but
here's the thing.
I can't do it. Like even wearing it.
I knew instantly.
Yeah.
Like it's literally that's it, and then you don't spray it on yourself. You spray it in front of you, walk through it. It's just for me,
that's not how you did it. Smart. The reality is, people saw the commercials and they're like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna get laid." But they're all the like douchebags too. It's
they
like
are.
You could see them.
But for me, I just use it as a huge. It's like, hey, I probably
cologne. Use it as cologne.
I probably smell like weed. Let me just spritz this real quick, and then I just
cologne.
Huh?
Cologne.
No, because people still fuck cologne up. People
first off, cologne not as strong.
Slappy.
Axe spray is concentrated fucking cologne. That's all it is. It's super concentrated.
Spraying it on you is
if you use as much
idea.
Axe as you do cologne, which people do, you can go fuck. And that's not like you should
cologne
be doing one spray of cologne.
Cologne should literally be drop on my hand, back over, put it down, slap hands together.
Sure. It's like
one
spray
somewhere.
Yeah, it's a spray.
You should not douse.
No.
Douse.
You're covered in way more cologne to smell as strong as Axe is. Like Axe is just way like the smallest amount of Axe is so pungent, but it doesn't cover up anything. I still smell all of the body odor that comes with the Axe.
Yeah, but I don't have body odors, so mine is just like, hey, slightly not smell like weed.
Yeah. But use it as a cologne. That's it.
I've sprayed it in our bathroom a couple times, and you probably never noticed. It's not.
It smells like shit. I mean,
but again, like lit.
Yeah, for sure.
8 Mile versus Underworld. Were we paying? One more.
You chose that. Yeah, okay. 8 Mile.
Yeah.
I really like 8 Mile. Way more than I should. It's like almost a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, for you,
Feels weird.
That's a little.
I really like it. War Games versus Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come and take it away from you.
Field
the
of
government.
Dreams.
I gotta go War Games.
What? Say what?
I grew up with War Games. One of those. I mean, I technically grew up with both of these movies, but War Games, like, you know, I mean, early computer hacker nerd guy. Would you like to play a game?
One of the best.
You know,
Kevin Costner.
They're both great movies. These are two classics for me. Two classics. Grew up
James
with both
Earl
of them.
Jones.
Sure.
I love baseball. I was a baseball player as a kid.
Come on, man. One of the few. One of the
a
proud.
computer hacker in
No, but I'm saying
1983.
fucking Broderick, Matthew Broderick, fucking Ferris Bueller.
It's a great
one of the two movies that I loved him in. Yeah, it was a great movie, Field of Dreams. If I didn't hate baseball when it came out,
I love baseball.
I was into baseball for a while, and then I got burnt out because everybody's like, everybody in my family expected me to be great at baseball.
Literally played competitive baseball from 4 to 17.
Yeah, no, I burnt out early. T-ball, fuck you, or coach pitch.
We didn't
Fuck
have
you.
T-ball. It was always coach pitch.
Right, T-ball is before coach pitch.
Yeah, but T-ball wasn't even a thing where I was from. You started
Right.
coach pitch at 5.
Sure.
And I got to start at 4 because my dad decided to coach my team for like the first year.
Yeah.
And so then I got like a year head start. Anytime you get a head start on sports from other kids,
Yeah.
you're gonna be way better. Like
Yeah.
It's
the same with everything in life. It's called experience.
Exactly. Anybody that's got a kid who does professional sports or whatever, like, you have to groom them. It's not like they're just like that naturally talented that they can just grab it. And
They
fucking
may
pick
be
it
naturally coordinated,
exactly,
or athletic,
but you have
to train the skills.
train the fucking.
There's
shit.
technique,
and it's rough. But
that's
whatever.
the thing. Art's the same way. Motherfuckers are just like, oh, I can just do this.
Yeah.
They don't respect anything. Like, you hear it all the time. Like, every time Al Madrigal's on Kill Tony, and there's some fucking actor that goes up on stage that's clearly acting some monologue that they wrote that they thought was going to be funny. And he just goes off. It's like, you don't fucking respect this art form. There's fucking people that are coming up here to try and be comedians, not just trying to do something between gigs. Like, you have to put your time in. Like, you're not, like, consistently comics say, at least 10 years before you fucking even think about putting shit out.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you listen to like Bert. Love Bert. He's a guy that started super early, and he hates all of his early shit. But it's just like, he got a lot of heat early on, and then he didn't have the experience to fucking.
But he rebounded.
Oh, he's done well. He's like Forrest Gump. He falls into like he did the TV. It was Will Smith discovered him.
I know, and that's why I'm saying
It's fucking crazy.
Field of Dreams wins.
No, that's why War Games wins.
No, take it to the judges, and we're ending this
is
podcast.
very much a taste fucking. I just yeah. I don't give a fuck about baseball.
This got meandering.
Baseball is
Shit.
so boring. You could watch.
We're
three
just so
other
excited
sports.
about seeing a good movie.
Sure. I mean, it's whatever. Field of Dreams. We get lost.
Frilled?
Hey, don't. If you spell it, they will not come.
Frilled?
I mean, I can't see it, so I'm just I'm looking through a mic. Field of. And I don't know how to spell either. Field of Dreams comes in at a huge score, 86.
86.
Not as big as I thought it would be.
86. It was fan and critic.
Very consistent, above board
It's
about
like,
a movie
hey, we like this movie.
that came out. I don't know how, like, when movies came out before Rotten Tomatoes was the thing.
How
like
does
their
that
metrics,
retroactively?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we still go with it clearly because we don't have anything else.
But people do retroactively review
Sure,
movies.
but it's like,
Who
we talk
are-
about movies from our childhood. We're way more generous in reality. If you're a critic, I wouldn't call myself a critic.
Never-ending story.
Yeah, but that one's okay. That one's okay. That one holds up. Wait, what's the other one? Field of Dreams and
The
War
Labyrinth?
of Games. Game of War. What? No, War Games.
Yeah.
Jesus, I was right there.
Not one word, but whatever. It worked.
War Games.
93! Wow. Wow.
It's a good movie,
It
man.
is. No, I'm not. I'm not discounting it.
I don't know if you've revisited it any time recently, or if I don't know where you're basing your. Not that.
Would you like to play a game?
Yeah. War games. Good on you. All right, that was it, people.
Send it.
We're done.
That was the weirdest
Go
version
check out
of UMC.
Tangentially speaking about movies, we were talking about movies.
We were kind of.
No, we were. It was all movie related. I mean, at least that's how it started. I don't know how it all ends. I just remember sometimes how it's. I don't know. But yeah, that's it, everybody. That's our show for you. You can check out our list at patreon.com. flickchart.com/IDP. Donate to the show at Patreon, though. Patreon.com/inspireddisorder. You can follow Keith at KeithSpurlock1 on Twitter. I'm at Ray Taylor on Twitter and Instagram. Donate on Patreon. Subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Go to inspireddisorder.com. I'm releasing new drawings every day. The many faces. So go buy some of those. Go buy art prints or Photoshop prints. And I just set up a bunch of shit on Fiverr. So if you want me to do work for you, go check that shit out.
Yeah, I retweeted or I shared that, and then I realized that because it didn't explicitly say your name, it may imply that I am the one doing that. And I would like to say, any one of my friends that's watching
if
this,
they want to
obviously
pay you to do it, I'll do the work and keep the money. But you can take the credit for it. I don't care.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
Once I reread what I shared, I was like, oh,
I
wait,
think people figure it out,
just imply it should.
Well, I mean,
People
the
that watch
Photoshop
it,
one is you're in a lot of them, but it's I don't
the picture shared was the Guardians of the Galaxy one where my
I was
face
showing
is
examples of Photoshop work that I've done. Yeah.
And I was like,
sure.
oh shit! After I did, I was like, oh shit! I hope people don't assume this is me because
have anybody been like, I didn't know you were?
No, just one of my friends liked it, and I was like, oh,
that's right. So anyway, that's it. We're done. Another tangent during the outro.
Shit. We tangented the shit out of this. It was fun, though.
That's how it works. All right, people.
Go see War for the Planet of the Apes.
Go support this whole franchise. Go watch this movie. It is a fun movie. Go watch the last three movies.
Buy the old ones on iTunes. Why not?
The original.
Own the trilogy.
Yes, get this. You could probably pre-order the trilogy now on iTunes. I would imagine they usually are good with
have a
doing
bundle.
That. Yeah.
This is a good one to own. Seriously, if
I don't already own one of them.
If I was sick one day and just wanted to fucking chill, lay on the couch.
It's a great franchise, man.
Just rock that from a noon to whenever.
Although I don't know, because they're so consistently good. At least some of them there is a ramp up. Right? Like Star Wars, all right, it's a good movie. It's a good way to start it.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Second one, whoa.
Well, I mean,
Third
that's
one, high end.
Well, that's that's literally how they did this.
Yeah, but I'm talking about overall consistent
probably
production.
The weakest.
I know.
Second one's the second best,
but still
and the third one is the fucking best. They went in reverse and it worked perfectly.
Well, instead of the
they
the
followed
second
the
one,
Star Wars.
Some people say the second one's
second
the best.
one's probably the better in the Star Wars.
There's arguments across the board on franchises.
For me as a kid, though, I liked the third one the best.
The second one, the same thing. Second one with
but it was because it came out when I remember it.
But also the second one for Star Wars and the second one for fucking Back to the Future.
Yeah,
it's depressing moments.
I love the second one.
It's depressing moments. But yeah, I love the future shit in Back to the Future. But it's also we're living in the worst parts of Back to the Future 2 right now.
Right
and
now.
It bums me out. As a child, I was bummed out of my reality right now. As far as politically. As a child, I was upset at what was happening. A fucking rich asshole.
Who was actually based on...
Sure.
I know.
Well, I mean, that's why the fucking meme fits so well, too. Just edit it out. Anyway, another...
we gotta go.
We don't have to. We can just keep going. I need to pee.
I got beers.
I know.
I need to drink.
Me too. All right, people. That's our show. Thank you for watching. We're out of here. Go fuck yourself with your hand.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.